I told you guys, I did. A week ago, I made a video on how Tesla's gonna sell off. It's gonna be sell the news event on 11/10. What happened on 11/10? The next day, which is today, the stock is down 8%. And I've warned you guys about this. Look, the analysts were looking for something completely different than what was going to be shown. This was called a robotaxi event. We robot event. There's nothing to do with the compact car or a separate car, nothing. I was expecting a one more thing at the end to show some low affordable vehicle, not necessarily the compact car, but this was a robotaxi event. Nobody should have expected a compact car, but these analysts were expecting a compact car. Oh man, this is easy. It's so easy to predict these things, but I told you guys. But here's the thing, don't panic. There's nothing to be afraid of. And this was expected to happen. And you know what? With every product launch that Tesla does, the same pattern happens. There's always a sell-off. But down the line, something magical happens. And that's why I'm saying don't worry. Things are going to get so much better in the future if you're a long-term Tesla holder. What now? We're going to talk about it in this video, but we're first going to talk about why the stock crashed the way it did and what Wall Street is thinking, because it's very important to know where they stand right now, because these guys have the big bucks. These guys are the one that can move the stock up and, high and low whenever, however they like. These guys have the big bucks to do it. And if Wall Street doesn't like it, they're going to sell off as I predicted. That's what happened. So smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get down to it. So Gene Monster, who is a Tesla bull, came out and said this on X. Shares of Tesla is down around 6% pre-market. Now it's 8% after market, during the market, for two reasons. Number one, timing of Cybercab is still 2+ years away. Too far for the incremental investor to put much weight into the opportunity, and the timing asks existing investors to continue the waiting game. Yep, that's true. Elon did say that the Cybercab is going to be around 2026, but he's missing something very important that's going to happen in 2025, and that's the Model 3 and Y becoming, robotaxi ride sharing. They're going to become robotaxis. You can in Texas and California. That needs to be evaluated, and that's a big deal. That's cheaper than Waymo and stuff, and that's going to be the 3 and Y. And they're starting next year. That's a big one. But yes, the Cybercab, Elon did mention that it's going to be below $30,000. So this is pretty much the compact car, the Cybercab. I think they got rid of the idea of putting a pedal and a wheel here. They said, no, this is going to be the robotaxi. That's it. We still have low affordable vehicles coming in the first half of 2025. They're still coming. No one said it's canceled, and we'll learn more about on Q3 earnings call. But those are still coming. The Cybercab is the compact car, guys. That's what Tesla and Elon was trying to say yesterday. And what Gene is saying here is that the Cybercab, yes, it's below $30,000 vehicle, but it's 2+ years from now. And we Wall Street analysts can't look beyond 6 to 12 months. And for current investors, it's a waiting game until then. That's what he's saying. So that's his first reasoning. His take on that is that the disappointment makes sense. Tesla investors has been waiting for a few things recently, including improving margins, higher growth delivery rates, and FSD. I feel the Cybercab falls squarely into the worth the wait camp, and even if it's 3 years before it sees the light of day, investors will be rewarded, and I completely agree with this. Here's the thing, guys. Yeah, in 2025 could be a similar year to 2024 in deliveries, but earnings are going to be different because interest rates are going down. Tesla's going to be making more money. And we've got other things coming. Of course, Cybertruck's going to continue to be ramping. The affordable vehicles that are like low $30,000, they're going to be coming, right? Existing lines. We can't forget about that. And the robo-taxi ride hauling sharing, that thing is coming in 2025, and that's 60 to 80% gross margins. So good things are happening in 2025. And if Trump wins, that's a big catalyst for this year. If Trump wins, then we can see a rally in the stock as well, and interest rates coming down even more. It's going to be a good year for Tesla. I do think so. It's going to be a better year than 2024, although delivery growth, I think, is going to stay a little bit more stagnant, maybe a little bit higher if they don't produce their low affordable vehicles, which I do think they will. And if they do, I think 2025 is going to be a good year. His second reasoning is that there was no word about the more affordable model that Elon suggested would be available sometime between late this year and mid 2025. And I'm not going to lie, this is the one more thing that I was looking forward to, but they didn't mention it. Again, we'll know more about it in Q3 earnings call when analysts ask them, like, hey, what happened to this thing? Are you guys still coming out with this low affordable car? And I think the answer is still yes, and they didn't want to say it here. And I think Elon is not going to give a straight answer, but he's going to hint that everything's on track. You guys will see it once we decide to unveil it and show it to you guys, because we have to be able to produce it as soon as we unveil it. So I think this is still in the works, but yes, this was the thing that I was looking forward to for the one more thing. But it's okay. It's a robotaxi event. Fully understood. His take on this is that the cheaper car is still in the works, which I 100% agree. My guess is timing will be late 2025 for initial production. The reason why they get held off was there is little reward for them to highlight a cheaper model, given it risks buyers hitting the pause today on Model 3 and the Model Y. Yeah, again, Osborne effect is what he's talking about. So this is Gene Monster. He is a analyst in Wall Street, and he's a Tesla bull, and this is his reasoning. Gary Black has his own reasoning too, but it's similar. He says here that many Tesla investors asking why Tesla is negative 6% pre-market following Cybercab unveil, which is now 8% during the market. Number one, long on promise. Few specifics on how Tesla goes from FSD, supervised to unsupervised autonomy by end of 2025. No 25,000, 30,000 compact announcement. There it is again. We didn't expect one, Osborne effect, but apparently some did. No, not some did. Everyone did. All the analysts did. That's the reason why the stock's going down. They didn't announce they didn't announce a compact car that's going to come out this year or in 2025. That's it. Number three, sell the news after 68% Tesla run-up since late April. We maintain our 270 price target 6 to 12 months. So a little bit different than Gene's, but nonetheless, it's very, very similar. Kind of shocked to him to say that they were, he thought that only some did, expect the compact car. No, everyone did. All analysts did. But here's the thing. Don't panic, okay? Here is why you shouldn't panic. Because this isn't the first time when Tesla unveils an earth-shattering, changing product, and then the stock sells off the next day. Shout out to Kim Java here. Doubt them. They want you to. When Tesla unveiled the world's best-selling car in 2018, which was the Model Y, the market reacted the next morning with a Tesla falling 5%. When they unveiled America's best-selling electric car in 2019, more sales than all e-trucks combined, market reacted the next morning with a 6% drop. Robotaxi unveil resulted in a 7% drop this morning for Tesla. Now it's 8%. It's par for, of course, and if anything, reassures there could be another big hit by the end of the decade. Now let's go to the stock here. Now for the record, the Model Y got unveiled on March 3rd of 2019. So if you go to the stock right now and find March, it was down 5% exactly. And then what happened after? Look at that roar. And it became the world's best-selling vehicle. Same thing is gonna look. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the Cybercab. And the thing is, this Cybercab is so compact that they can make millions. And since everybody can buy it, it's not gonna be just a Tesla service thing. Maybe it will be, in the beginning, and maybe Tesla will take 20-30% just for their own. But people can buy it. $25,000 to $30,000 vehicle, and you can make money from it. It's insane. It's insane. It's disrupting, car sales, transportation, and just everything. It's literally the best way to transition to sustainable energy. It's insane. And then we got the RoboVan as well, but that's, we'll talk about that later. We'll just talk about why the stock is down, why you shouldn't be worried. Now, shout out to Lord Pretty Flacco here. He made some really interesting remarks. He says that it's so funny that people are making a big deal about 2016 production timeline for the Cybercab. It's not that big of a deal. He is right. When he literally said we're launching unsupervised FSD in California and Texas in 2025 with Model 3 and Y. Again, that's the reason why I'm going all in Tesla stocks, because of this. The unsupervised full self-driving, the robotaxi, of course. But it's happening next year in 2 states. And then slowly. And then once this Cybercab is there, it's just go straight to work, man. There's no red tape to go through. Because Waymo and the 3 and Y unsupervised FSD is going to cut majority of the red tape for them in the US. And then slowly in Canada, and then FSD in China, and then Europe, and then slowly around the world. So I 100% agree with this. He also says, he puts a very good timeline out here too, which is very important. I was going to do this, but he did it. He beat me to it. He said, the first half of 2025, next gen compact, plus affordable base models unveiled and go into production. That's happening in 6 months, guys. Like 6 to 9 months, right? This is what Wall Street was looking to hear. But they didn't get it. That's why they sold it off. But I'm pretty sure once they hear it again, stock's going to come back again because they're going to add it back to their valuation spreadsheet and all that stuff. FSD China plus EU launch. That's a very big deal. First FSD licensing OEM announcement. I'm not too sure about that. But if that happens, obviously we welcome it. Second half of 2025, unsupervised FSD ride hauling launches in California and Texas using Model Y and 3, which is very important. And then 2026, not only do you get the Cybercab production, but you get the Optimus production. Man, 2026 is going to be an insane year. 2025 is going to be a really good year too. But 2026 is going to be an insane year. And these things are not going to be small productions. They're going to be in mass productions. This is why you guys shouldn't panic and embrace this dip. Buy like I did today. I bought some today and I'm so close to hitting 1,000 shares. I think I'm going to just do it. Screw it. I'm going to go over 1,000 shares. I don't care. This was amazing. And then you guys can see his additional observations here with cost per mile, 70% gross margins, and all the other interesting stuff. But you guys see the long term is looking very good. It's amazing. Like we're getting 2 new products, which is going to be autonomous. The RoboVan and the Cybercab. It's going to be, it's crazy. This is why you guys should not be a short-term investor for Tesla. Just 2 more years, guys. 2 more years. If it's 2 more years, it's going to be absolutely insane. 2 more years. I still think next year is going to be a really good year in 2025, but 2026 is going to be the year of production for Tesla when it comes to their next gen stuff, their important stuff, the Cybercab and FSD and the Robotaxi and the Optimus and all these other crazy things, the RoboVan even. Now, obviously none of this is financial advice, but what I'm doing is I'm buying this dip. Now, there's 2 big catalysts for this year until we go to 2025. Number 1, Trump winning. If Trump wins, we're going to see the stock rise. I mean, for sure, because Trump and Elon, they're going to do good stuff. It's going to work. The second catalyst is Q3 earnings being beat and Q4 earnings as well. I guess there's a third catalyst too, which is interest rate being cut. I think that's definitely going to be a catalyst as well. So I guess you can say 3 catalysts for this year. And you guys saw what happened when interest rate got cut earlier this year. The stock went up crazy. And this will continue to go because that's higher margins for Tesla and demand coming back for cars. So we do have catalysts coming. Now, some of them is a 50-50 with Trump and Kamala. That's a 50-50, I think, although Trump is going to win, in my opinion. But if Trump wins, that's bullish. Q3, Q4 earnings need to be a beat so we can have the EPS growth going up, but interest rates need to come down so it can all come together so Tesla can get better and stronger margins going into 2025. So there's a lot of good stuff coming. And even worst case scenario, again, 2025 is going to be a very good year because we're seeing, again, the 3NY unsupervised FSD coming up, version 13, Europe, China, affordable vehicles. There's a lot of things happening next year. So I wouldn't bet against that. I really wouldn't. Now, if I didn't know any better, Cathie Woods, in the latest interview, was saying to buy the stock now. Not financial advice, but you guys can make your own judgment right here in this video of what she said because the numbers are crazy. Her analysis is crazy, but Elon endorsed it, so it may not be that crazy. So you guys can be your own judge. Check it out. Subscribe, guys. Get your about the tip t-shirts, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.